Today we're talking smarter financing, and joining me with their top tips and advice for raising money for new businesses as well as financing your existing company is business journalist Dan Matthews and founder of the Bicycle Academy, Andrew Denham. Welcome to you both to the programme. Now, how difficult, Dan, is it for small businesses, start-up businesses, to get the financial advice and help and information that they need?
Well, the truth is there's financial advice everywhere these days.
Yeah.
The internet is a great source of information. The government has a site called gov.uk where you can find all of the hints and tips and rules, more importantly, of what you should be doing. There are also other websites, there are magazines, there are bank managers, accountants. It's everywhere. The trick is to research lots of different aspects of what you're going to do and then condense that information so that it's relevant to your specific circumstances.
So it's all about research in the beginning?
Very much so.
Now, you've been there and done it, Andrew, with your company. Where did you go to get the finance for your business?
Okay, so I crowdfunded my business.
So what's crowdfunding?
So crowdfunding is a method of raising finance from a large number of people, hopefully, who each put in a small amount with a view to them helping you make something happen. So in my case, I wanted to start the Bicycle Academy and I needed to raise £40,000. And 183 people put their money in and I raised the money in 5.5 days. So
why did you do that as opposed to going the traditional route to a bank?
I guess because it's a really good proof of concept. It proves that what I was creating or what I was proposing was something that for which there was interest. Whereas if you go to a bank, you may convince the bank manager. That doesn't necessarily mean you've convinced your potential clients.
Absolutely. Now, when you start up a business, those early days are quite crucial, and a lot of businesses fail in the first year because often cash flow, managing the costs. How important is it to manage those costs of a business?
It's really important. I think understanding where the costs are going to arise from and when they're going to arise is really important. So you need to keep your costs down. So perhaps you could, if you need a vehicle, for example, you could lease something small like a VW Caddy, so that could save you some money.
And know exactly how much you're spending.
Yeah, exactly. And you can build in terms that mean that your servicing costs and things like that are taken care of.
Yeah, so it's really important in the early days. Now, we talked about, obviously, cash flow, and that's often an issue. And what do you think, Dan, the most important thing, your top tips, if you like, when you are starting out with a new business idea?
Okay, well, when you're very first starting up, one of the most important things that I recommend that you do is start as small as you possibly can do. So that may still mean that you have to spend quite a lot of money on various things. An example would be a restaurant where you have to find your premises, you have to find your furniture, payment mechanisms, staff, stock, the whole lot, lighting, everything.
So you've got expenses to start.
Many expenses, but spend the money that you have in a smart way. Don't get the best if you don't need the best. And don't spend on sort of auxiliary things that won't help your business in those early days. That's the really important thing to remember.
What about you, Andrew? Because obviously you've been there and done it. The company's still fairly new.
Yes, yeah.
What's your top tips for starting a business?
I think play to your strengths. So if you're good at something, stick to doing that. So in my case, I'm not particularly enthused by the financial side of things. So I have an accountant and a bookkeeper and someone who takes care of that for me. And that allows me to focus on securing new business and things that I am good at. And that works well.
And go with those things that follow your strengths.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me today. My thanks to Dan Matthews and to Andrew Denham for joining us. And to hear more from our business ambassadors and to find out more info on the right van for your business, go to facebook.com and search Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles UK or go to volkswagen-vans.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.